Oh man!
Okay.
By the way, so I went and saw a movie this weekend, and I stopped by because it was at Assembly Row in Somerville,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and so I took it upon myself to go to the Lego store,
Uh-huh.
and I saw some junk. I'm gonna put it into the chat so that way we can talk about it.
You saw junk?
I mean, junk in the great good sense, not the pejorative
Okay.
sense. All right, let me do this. Copy image.
At the Lego store?
Oh yeah.
Why am I
Alright.
opening up my folder? It's in our chat. I'm like, I'm gonna find it on my computer.
That's weird. It brought it in
That
small.
picture is so... Yeah. What
Well,
the hell? Is that the Tower of... No, that's Saru...
That's
What?
that's
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 Sauron's tower.
That's Sauron's tower. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
thought it was the Tower of Barad-dûr. I'm a nerd.
Barad-dûr.
That's cool. How much was that?
Let me
And did you
look.
buy it?
No, God, no. It's $460.
Oh god, that's more than the Deku tree.
Oh, it's redonkulous. Then I saw this
Yikes.
guy. And then I
Where are you?
saw this guy.
Oh yeah, Bowser.
It's like,
Yeah, the Mario and Yoshi from what is it, the Super NES Mario?
oh yeah, and it's like
I've
super
seen that, and I've
pixelated.
thought about getting that. Yes, I love that.
I didn't see the well, obviously I didn't see the Game Boy yet because again I don't think it's been released yet, but I didn't see the Deku
Not till
tree
October.
either.
Yeah, I don't know where you can find that aside from Amazon. I have not seen it in any stores.
Oh yeah,
But the Game Boy is not coming out till October.
and again I don't know. Are you a Lord of the Rings person?
Hell yeah, I am. I'm a nerd.
Look at that is the that's the Sauron Tower. That and if you it
That
looks
looks so cool.
and down if you like zoom in on the bottom, you can see
I
like
can see you.
I
I can see your reflection.
Here I am.
Was that Hobbiton?
Yeah, there's like orcs down on like the left side of it, and it looks like Bilbo
Mm-hmm.
and the oh yeah, and there's Hobbiton, and then for some inexplicable reason, right beside it there is what looks like a riverboat for like
Yeah.
where you would
It
go
looks like a
gambling on the
steamboat.
Mississippi. Oh man, it was
No,
so
they have some cool setups like that in a lot of the different Lego stores. That's cool. I haven't seen those set up though.
Also, and I'll put this in here too, and hopefully I don't get arrested for
This
taking a
is
picture.
Great podcast talk.
Yeah.
You see all these pictures, guys?
Yeah, hey, you guys looking at these pictures? It's pretty cool. Let me correct
I
this.
want to get a website up for the podcast and just like throw all the things from the podcast in that. So
Yeah.
maybe one of these days we'll work around to it.
So, and again, kind of
Got plenty of ideas.
totally. So, I went and saw Fantastic Four, and they had in
Okay.
the preview they had the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which was like I was like, oh, all right. I didn't see the first one, but evidently it was enough that they made a second one.
Yeah. I mean, people were hyped for the movie to begin with, but from what I heard, it was okay. You know, especially for that sort of game making its way to the big screen and actually bringing the story along with it, and it staying true to like the narrative from the games is pretty cool. And I'm a big sucker for Matthew Lillard to begin with. Like, he plays great characters, so the fact that he was, spoilers, the bad guy in the movie or whatever was awesome. Like, if you play the games, you understand the whole thing, but he plays the character really well.
I haven't played them. The best I can say is I watched Game Theory on like a few of his videos on it, and I was like,
you and all of us too.
oh boy.
Does the game interest you? Like, do you know the story behind what's going on or anything?
I mean,
aside from deadly animatronics.
I mean, yeah, to a point. I think now again it's the barrier to entry, because what started off as like a few like jump scare games has now grown into like a massive multimedia empire.
Yeah. I don't even know what else to say. That's exactly what it is now. It's gone from the humble indie game by another just single developer doing the shit to a massive global conglomerate. I can't even get my words right tonight.
Oh man.
All right. We're already talking about game stuff. You want to hop into the potty?
Yeah, and do we want to introduce ourselves?
That's what we do with the when I say the podcast number.
All right.
You've done this how many times have you missed it?
I've done this now twice. This is my third time.
Is it?
We did it. No,
Including the
three.
Assassin's Creed one?
Three. Well, I'm not counting Assassin's Creed because that wasn't a numbered podcast. I wasn't an official
Fair
member yet.
All right. Did that one come out first before you were on the proper podcast?
Mm-hmm. That was my test run.
That's funny. That's a great introduction. All right. This is the Ramblepack podcast, episode 65, and I am Adam.
And I am Sean. So
And we are down a physical mic.
Physical mic. We have two mics on our desks, but
Yes.
we do not have a human mic.
Yes. Our mic is busy, unfortunately. So we'll have him on next time. If I don't... He wants... we kicked around the idea when we talked about the Kingdom Hearts Let's Talk About. Like, towards the end of that, I don't know if you've listened to it. Amelia is taken into Kingdom Hearts, so she wanted to listen to the whole thing and understand the story now.
Oh crap! I need to put that on because I have a lot more. So people will know I've transitioned to a new role within my company, and right now I'm in kind of a training phase. So I do a lot of training video, like watch a lot of training videos, go through a lot of this stuff that's already my predecessor was doing, but I have a lot more. I don't have to be on the phones anymore. So that would actually be a great thing to listen to because I'm kind of short on content. And I'll be honest with you, one of my favorite things is listening to somebody explain a thing, especially lore.
Mm-hmm. So you probably enjoy that. And I also ask questions for like clarification and trying to understand it. And like I said, at the end, it did make sense. I got a better grasp of the story. I understand how things flowed and like who's doing what, why, and how. The only thing I don't get is like the magic aspect and like the actual world building. Because it feels like when you tell a story, you can get like the grasp of the rules and the laws of the world and how things work and shit like that. But for Kingdom Hearts, it feels like there are no rules. It's just like, yeah, this works because whatever. And then this one, yeah, you can do that because this. Like, without giving anything away in this thing again, I understood things that was going on and how Mike was explaining it. And then he goes, time travel. And I'm like, what?
You're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, as soon as he brought up a time machine and people traveling through times and like separating their bodies, I'm like, okay, you gotta explain that to me.
You gotta slow that down a little bit, friend. Fun fact. So again, I like looking at the TikToks, and there's this guy. I think his name is Gabe Senpai, and what he does is basically he does like a back and forth with himself, explaining some lore-heavy video game thing, and I'll send one to you. But it is arguably one of the funniest things, and he does a whole series on Kingdom Hearts, and he very deliberately does not explain it well, so that way the other version of him who's listening, who's the complete straight man in it, who's like, has no idea what's going on, so it'd be like, and this is Sora, correct, and this is also Sora, also correct, But is this Sora? No. Why? Explain. And then it just goes from there. He does a really good one with Metal Gear. So this is Snake,
that would
yes.
be interesting.
And this is Snake, yes. Is this also Snake? No. Explain. Well, in Metal Gear Solid 5, fun fact, he's not actually... oh my god, what is he? He's not Naked Snake in that. Who is he?
That's what the thought was, I believe. Do you want to spoil that game for people who haven't played it?
No. But there is a plot turn.
I mean, it's an old
game.
And
the plot turn is they fired Hideo Kojima before they finished the game. So it's not quite all
You know what's funny is he actually made a quote about Metal Gear Solid Delta. I think that's the name of it that's coming out.
Yeah.
I don't have it on the list, but going back, I never got around to finishing what I was saying. Towards the end of that podcast, I mentioned the next one that we do maybe could or should be Legend of Zelda based.
That would be pretty cool.
I could go on for a while with that. You and I both could tell him about it because he hasn't touched those games. He has no idea about them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a tough one. Like...
Is it really?
Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, it's easy. It's the same thing every game, just different people. Different timeline.
Hold on. Do you break it into the 3 timelines? Where the hell does Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom go?
See, I wasn't even going to get into that. That's a whole other can of worms.
So, we should do a Let's Talk About and do Legend of Zelda and just be like, and then there's Tingle. And he's everywhere, man. And he's weird.
Yeah, I don't like Tingle. I get what he's supposed to be, but I don't like the character.
I like Beetle. Beetle's good.
I like Beetle too. I can actually do a pretty good impression of Beetle, and I only do it because Meg will do like the O noise. Like when he gets excited, she'll go O, and it sounds very similar, so I'll mock it, and I'm like, oh, you're Beetle.
Well, now I need to hear it.
Yeah, right.
When he's like...
I'm too embarrassed.
When he's like, wow!
No, when he literally says, oh!
God, that game is so...
Sounds just like that.
Oh, man. Well,
when he says thank you.
Wow! So, I will let everyone know on the podcast because the public needs to know. As of tomorrow, I will be Switch 2 enabled.
Yeah.
I don't know what that will look like. I am going to set it up initially in my office, and so I got something going on. I'm going to record as many impressions that I get as I can.
Okay.
I am probably just right at the start going to start playing Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Picross.
Oh, God. Actually, now, hold on. I'm going to have that in a stunning 60 FPS.
Oh, dude. When I get my Switch 2, the first thing I'm going to do is get on the GameCube emulator.
That's the other thing I'm thinking is I almost don't want to start with Breath of the Wild. I want to start with Wind Waker. That's where I want to start.
Yeah. I was actually going to suggest that the other day. I was going to say, you got to start Wind Waker now, since you got the Switch 2?
Oh, that's main reason.
Fair enough. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2, do you not need to pay like an extra $5 or $10 for like the upgrade? Cool.
Nope. As far as I know, it just runs in a standard 60 FPS. I believe it also, just by virtue of already owning it, you get the Nintendo app, like the Hyrule Notes or whatever it's called, so you can take notes down, which at this point is moot because I already have 400 hours in Breath of the Wild alone. You know what I mean? Like, I have 200 some odd hours in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, why? Why do I even need to take a note on it?
And have you ever beaten the game proper yet?
Yes, I've beaten both of them.
Okay.
And so, with Breath of the Wild, initially, I was like, okay, I played it and I got maybe, I don't know, like, let's say if it's 300 hours, I got about 280 hours in and I didn't beat it. I very, like, strategically chose not to beat it. I then was like, okay, I got to finish this at some point, but I'm like, I don't want this to end. And we had a friend over, and this friend is, again, huge into Zelda, but like, he stopped at Ocarina of Time, like, and Majora's Mask. Like, he never had.
What?
Well,
Why?
he never bought a newer system. He never got into like
Okay.
next gen gaming, and
Okay.
so I was like,
You're missing so much.
oh, I know. So I was like, they came over for dinner or something, and I was showing them Breath of the Wild, and I was like, shit, do I just beat it right now? And he was like, if you want to, and I just beat the game right there. And I was like, okay, to be fair, the ending of that game is okay. The ending's not the point of it. You know?
Right. It's the journey, not the destination.
Correct. Then with Tears of the Kingdom, I eventually just got to a point. I was like, let me just try beating it. And I do have to say that it's arguably one of the best boss battles. Just the ambiance of being under Hyrule. You fight Ganon. There's a lot of them. It's awesome. It's so good.
You're going to make me go beat the game, aren't you?
You haven't beaten it?
No, not yet. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, so I'll be honest with you. I would. So when you go to beat it, I'm going to be honest. Like, I flat out got wrecked like 3 times in a row. I got wrecked.
I've heard it's really hard.
And like the thing was, it's not like you go in and thankfully it does the thing where it like kind of autosaves so you don't. No, actually, no. I'm lying. Depending on how far you get into it, because again, it's a multi-stage battle, you might have to go and refight for like a previous 20 minutes.
Ugh.
And I was like, that's what I thought. And I first died, I'm like, damn it. And then I played it. When you beat it, though, oh, it's so satisfying. So good.
I'm going to break your heart about that now. You have to pay $10 for the upgrade.
Shut up.
Yeah. Ta-da. Upgrade pack, $9.99.
I mean,
Sorry, man.
I mean, I'm doing it. It's $10. Listen, I got a new job, man.
Don't you feel like those games should just be like take the game and then make it run better on the new systems? Why have an upgrade pack for it unless they completely, well, I'm not going to say completely recoded it, but maybe they recoded it in some way for the Switch 2 that allows it to utilize the new hardware. Who knows?
I mean, they did, but they also like again. This kind of goes back into the idea of when you buy a game. When you and I were children, and you bought a game, that game was the game. Now you buy a multi-stage update thing where it's like, man, just give me the freaking game, man.
Well, it's, to be fair, it's a lot better these days because now, better for the companies, I should clarify, because they're able to update the games rather than having to recall the games after they find one small issue and then reissue the games, which costs them millions of dollars having to redo cartridges and discs or whatever.
Yeah. Actually,
It doesn't help us when we're constantly updating shit, because now we have to update everything. Like, the TV right here's got to update. My phone has to update. The laptop has to update. Shit like that. Everything is constant now. And then they can, the coolest thing is that they can add on to the games without having to recall it or have to produce more stuff. But it's where the microtransactions and things come in. It's nickel and diming you for things.
actually, you know what's a really good, really interesting, like, weird footnote in gaming is the game-breaking bug in Twilight Kingdom, going back to Zelda, where they had to
You mean Twilight Princess?
Twilight Princess, Jesus, Twilight Princess, and they had to release the patch via a Wii channel because they didn't have direct patch capabilities.
Yep.
And there's a whole, I watched a whole YouTube on it a couple years ago, and it was like they were like, well, we have this problem. There's this game breaking bug. What do we do? And they were like, this is the only way we can figure it out. And it was like some weird back door when you installed the channel, and it like rewrote some code somewhere. It's wild.
Nintendo really does things odd. Well, did. Now the Switch and Switch 2 is more... I almost said universal, but that's not right. It's more with the times.
I mean, they still have like game chat doesn't exist except in a separate app. And you know, like trying to like add friends or do a multiplayer game online is a nightmare still. I don't know.
Still.
Yeah.
Their online services for multiplayer is still not that great either. The netcode sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like, and I get it. That's not what the deal is. That being said, like I would hope that they would. I mean, now I'm kind of bummed that I have to pay $10. But to be fair, like I just paid.
I'm sorry.
No,
I told you I'd break your heart.
to be fair, it's like, oh no, I have to pay $10 extra for a game that I bought. Checks notes 7 years ago. It's fine.
Well, since we're talking about Nintendo, they had a partner showcase today. Like there was some rumors starting at the end of last week, actually, floating all over Reddit, talking about there's a Nintendo Direct showcase coming up. They're saying that it's going to be this week. Like at the beginning of this week, there were some people saying it's rumored to happen this week. It's rumored to happen in a few days. They're going to announce it soon. They finally announced it last night at around like 6 or 7. Was like, yeah, we're going to do it tomorrow morning at 9. So here we are.
Nintendo being Nintendo. So, what are your thoughts?
Did you watch any of
So,
it?
I've watched a lot of the trailers. I didn't watch any of it live. I just don't. I don't have the time, man. But yeah, who does?
I had it on in the background while I was doing some work.
So I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts?
I mean, my honest opinion is Like, there was nothing really that I got super excited about. I thought some things were cool, but nothing that I was, like, blown away by.
I mean...
Of course, bias speaking, Hyrule Warriors. I'm a big fan of Dynasty Warriors. I love the Musou games. I like Koei Tecmo. They do great. So having another one is cool, but it's also, like, there's nothing special about it. It's just Dynasty Warriors with a Legend of Zelda makeover. It's the same way I feel about the Fire Emblem series like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say, I agree. That was the only thing, that and Octopath Traveler were the only ones that it was like, okay.
I wanted to bring that up in a minute too. Yes, I was excited for that. And there was, what the hell was the game called? The Adventures of Elliot. Is it called The Adventures of Elliot?
Let me take a look.
Or Elliot something. I don't know. But it's, while you look that up, it looked like Octopath Traveler, and as soon as it showed it, I was like, oh, it's a new Octopath game. But then they were like, oh, it's an action RPG, and like the camera zoomed out and moving around, and you're one character. I'm like, oh, they took the Octopath engine and they made a new thing, kind of like how they did with Triangle Strategy.
The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. That is really good.
There you go.
I actually saw that, and it was funny because it's in the link that I posted for what they showed. It's directly above Octopath Traveler, and you're right. It has the same similar art style. One thing that actually kind of passed by me was they're doing a Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles re-release.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that was announced a while ago, and they were just like talking about it again because I forget who made that announcement, but people. Oh, you know what? It was during a Sony showcase, I believe, because after that, people were talking about, yes, Tactics is back. I'm so happy I couldn't wait for it. And what's funny is, before that, I started playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on my emulator. So, from the Game Boy Advance era.
Remember, in the United States, you can get arrested, but if you go to Europe, you can do whatever you want, man.
I might have to move soon.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna slam. And again, we won't get political, but I ain't gonna slam free healthcare and like 6 weeks off per year. That ain't bad. But like looking at some of this, like Monster Hunter stories, I
have not heard very good things about this Monster Hunter title.
Really?
Like it didn't reach the bar of the other ones. Yeah.
I mean, it's Monster Hunter Stories. Is it like a numbered entry in the series, or is this like a offshoot? I honestly not super familiar with Monster Hunter. I've tried it. It's had hit or miss.
It's okay. I've tried it too. Yeah. I think I don't want to say something and be wrong because I don't particularly know either. If I'm not mistaken, the games are just called what they are based on like the story and location, and the monsters that you hunt are based on whatever locale you're in at the time.
All right.
But like the stories are their own stories. I don't know that it's a continuation from a previous game either. So I'm not sure what Monster Hunter Stories or Legends or whatever it is.
Right.
All I know is that it wasn't as well received as the last ones were.
Okay. I mean, I'm not, again, like, none of this direct, I was like, oh, this is, nothing, like, jumped out at me. I mean, well, there is a new Shinobi game coming out.
Yeah, that went along with some announcements that Sega did either at the beginning of this year or they did it last year. That got me really excited because they're remaking the original Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
They have this new Revenge of Shinobi game. God, what was the other ones? There was a handful of them that Sony was like, here's what we're doing. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, give me some of those. So that's what happened. I got super excited when they showed the Revenge of Shinobi game. I'm like, yeah, I know that's coming, blah, blah, blah. And it said August 25th or whatever. I'm like, oh, shit, that's coming this year. I'm going to get that.
I mean,
I got excited.
You can't go wrong with like a ninja game. Those are always so good. And I guess it's behind.
Did you play The Messenger?
No.
That's another ninja game. It's side-scrolling, but it's like one hit and you're dead kind of thing, and you can rewind, so you have to do it perfect throughout the level.
I'm gonna look that up.
It's fun.
It's fun. I like me a good side scroller. Borderlands 4 is coming out. Like, I think we talked about that last time, where
Yep.
it's like, I don't know.
It's some weird choices for him. It was like 45 frames a second for Switch 2.
Yeah.
And it was going to be 70 or 80 games. Or 70 or $80 for it.
Yeah, like, again, I think the thing for me, and again, as I was grudgingly saying last time, oh, I'm not buying a Switch 2 soon, and then I went and bought one. I'm not like
You liar!
I'm not jazzed about it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Like you didn't feel good pulling the trigger on it?
no, but I did, but I didn't. Like, I'll tell you, the thing that really got me is the GameCube emulator, and then potentially the now have to pay $10 extra for the the upgrade. But still, I'm down for it. I'm cool with it, but I'm not like the first. I remember when I got the Switch, it was like I remember feeling like a little kid, and then this I'm like, okay, though, and this will kind of tangent off of what we were just talking about. One of the new releases that are coming out on the Super NES collection is Mario Paint. And
Yeah.
that was something that was so monumental that you and I both put a note in. Unbeknownst that the other one I already put that note in.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I'm also excited that they put all the music on the Nintendo Music app that they do. That app, I will toss it on every so often and just like play old school video game music from like back in my childhood. It's so
I
great.
gotta put that on when I'm working. I keep forgetting to.
if you put on like the I think under the app it's called Paint Background 1 or something, but it's like the main theme that you probably would recognize.
Yeah.
Um,
Looking.
I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh, if you put that on while you're working, you're going to be too busy bouncing around to it to want to work. That's just one of those songs that make you happy.
I mean, that is.
Where were you when you first played Mario Paint? Because I have a very vivid memory of when I first tried it.
So, I remember we had got it for. We got it for SNES. I remember because you had to buy the mouse, and the mouse had a trackball, and that thing got disgusting because it wasn't like on a desk. It's like you would have it on your floor, and they had. Remember they gave you the weird plastic mat like platform that you had to use it on, and
yes, I do.
I remember we got it, and like. Me and my brother were playing it like crazy. And again, I don't have any musical acumen, but like I remember we had gotten somehow like a Mario Paint gaming guide because back in the day, kids, there was no internet. So you had to go
it was all books.
You had to buy a book and the book was huge. But it like I remember it gave you a breakdown of how to write the Tetris song. And
oh, that's cool.
Oh, it was awesome. It actually, I remember doing it, and I was like, all right, this is pretty freaking cool.
That is cool. I remember, I don't remember how old I was, but we went to Tennessee to hang out with my mom's best friend and her husband and kid, and they had a Super NES, and they had Mario Paint, so I was like, what is this? I haven't seen this before, because I only had an NES and a Game Boy. News to me. So I was stuck on the Super NES playing that in Super Mario World forever.
Oh, Super Mario World. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Yes. It was a wonderful game.
Oh my god.
It goes along with us talking about Legos.
Oh yeah. Right? Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to bring up, and I saw somebody had posted this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Specifically, it's a genre of games, and they were called cousin games. Did you ever? And I think you're gonna get what I'm talking about. A game that you.
It sounds weird, but I think I understand.
Right. It's a game that like your cousin or your friend or like someone had that you would go over their house and you would play it, and it was like the best game ever. But it really wasn't a great game, but it was just by virtue of being new and in a different place, it was fantastic.
I got one right off the top of my head, and it's not even a cousin game, but now I'm thinking of a cousin game in that instance. First one that comes to mind was Army Men Sarge's Heroes from the N64.
Blast Corps.
Not a great game, but it was fun playing with somebody. That one too.
Blast Corps was one. I remember my cousin had... Oh my god, do you remember the helicopter game? It was called Desert Strike, and there was like Jungle Strike. And it was basically like a really coded way of trying to get kids into the army. But it was also like a pretty awesome game. I remember my cousin had that game, and it was like... I almost don't ever want to play it again because it was so much fun that I don't want to ruin that memory for myself by playing like a subpar game. It probably is really fun still, but those are the best.
I'm not a fan of racing games, but an absolute cousin game for me was like MX versus ATV or racing games like that. No, thank you.
Again, it was funny. My cousin growing up, he had like the most he had a Sega. We only had Nintendo, but he had a Sega, and I remember he had Sonic 2. And I remember playing that game and being like, what the hell is this? Like, it's so fast.
Dude. Okay, we could go on about this all night long, but really quickly, the last thing we're going to point out is you mentioned Sega. That is the only console that I've ever actually rented video games for. Like, you'd have to ask your parents when you were younger, hey, can we rent video games? And they were twice movies or whatever. But the Genesis was the only console that I actually picked games to rent from, which is where I played Comic Zone and Booger Man and stuff like that.
The 90s. Booger Man. They were like, some exec in wherever that... whoever actually published that game was like, you know what kids love? Boogers.
Burping and farting, man. That's his powers.
Toe Jam and Earl.
That game was cool too. All right, you're gonna have to explain this to me. Nintendo's bringing back the playtest program. What was that?
So I actually, and again, I was just looking for stuff that was interesting, and I'm actually going to pull it up because I have to refresh myself. So I guess it's kind of like a beta program where, like, so
Okay.
reading through it, it's like you can, if you have an active membership on the expansion pack tier and you're at least 18 years old and you're in a certain territory, you can sign up. And I believe it's to try out, I'm assuming it's probably to try out, like Super Nintendo collection games before they get released en masse.
That's cool.
Let me just see, because again, there's a...
It sounds like a lot of hoops to jump through, though.
Oh, I know.
It's also... That sounds like it should be a place for demos kind of thing. Like how... I don't even know if the PlayStation does this, because I don't poke around the store enough, but Xbox has a spot where it's like free-to-play games and demos and things like that, and it's just a vertical slice of the game, but you don't have to sign up for anything special besides having an Xbox Live account. So... That's what this sounds like to me, but for Nintendo, but with extra steps.
Wait a minute. I am totally lying. Holy wait.
Uh-oh.
What is this? Sorry. And
okay?
Again, I'm putting the link in and we can read about it later, but basically, and I'm just going to read it verbatim. Based on official images shared by X user Ethan, this guy, the goal is to work with others to fully develop, in quotes, a massive, expansive planet by utilizing creativity and framed resources. I have no idea what that means. What even is this?
Wait. That sounds like a different game that they were developing or something they were looking for. Like looking for help on developing. Now I need to look up some of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on this.
Let's see. Playtest program. Test related to the service for online. You must be active. Yeah, that's just explaining what it is. That doesn't tell us what you can do. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm assuming that this is probably going to be somewhere in like remember in the 3DS, like the Me Adventure thing you could get?
Yes.
I'm wondering if this is going
That's
to be...
what that sounds like you're talking about.
That's what I think this is going to be. I kind of want to...
So reading some of the abouts for this playtest program, it says participants will need to download exclusive software to their Switch 2 systems. And then there's an application guideline too.
Yeah, but there's no... You can't... They're closed on applications.
You know what it sounds like to me?
Yeah.
It sounds like rather than signing up for... Hang on, let me get my words right. Instead of signing up on a developer's website to get into a closed beta, it sounds like Nintendo is allowing users that meet certain criteria to be able to do that for them. It sounds like it's shortening the application process and weeding out people who won't help out enough by doing things like this.
Right.
Which, that's cool. You're getting free help with things, but, give me some more details. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I want to know what this is exactly for. Right, and I'm sorry, I'm reading through some of the comments, and they're like, yeah, you didn't explain what any of this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so evidently this is like... So I guess they did this once before in October, and I guess it was like basically it was just them testing a game. I don't know what... I thought this was going to be like some sort of like... You get early access to certain titles, but no, it's like a whole different thing, man. That's wild.
Yeah, no, they have that on the Xbox, but
Yeah.
not this. Apparently it sounds like it's going to be selective.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah.
So, actually, and kind of to go off of, and just to call back to the comment on Octopath, I'm looking at what I see that you had put something in there of make sure you purchase the correct version.
Yes. So for Octopath Traveler 0, which is the new game that Square Enix is putting out, there's going to be different flavors for the different consoles, obviously. The confusing part is that, it's going to be for the Switch and the Switch 2. Square Enix had to come out and say that make sure you buy it on the system that you want it on, because they are not going to, they're not planning any upgrades or updates to be able to transfer Switch to Switch 2 or anything like that. So, if you buy it on one, that's where it lives.
Didn't we just have a discussion on this about vaguely named, it shouldn't be the onus of the person buying the game. Like, let's say you are on a Switch 2. Does that mean, and again, I'll be able to tell you tomorrow, but if you're on a Switch 2 and you look up Octopath Traveler 0 or whatever, and will you have both options? Like, that's weird.
I don't think so. I'm going to assume that. Actually, I don't even want to assume that, because I could be absolutely wrong. I would have to think that they would split them up, just because to me that's different ecosystems. Like, if you go on the Switch 1, you're not going to see Switch 2 games. You go on the Switch 2, maybe you'll see Switch games, or at least maybe they'll have a filter for ones that are compatible with the Switch 2. I have no idea. But it's both the physical and the digital versions of Octopath Traveler 0 are not going to be compatible between the two systems. Get it on the system you want.
That's a bummer. Again, like, that's one of the things I do like about the PlayStation ecosystem. I'm sure it's the same with Xbox. If I buy a game that is playable on the PS4, I can play it on the PS5. You know what I mean? There might be an upgrade fee if you...
Yes and no? Is there any PS4 games that don't go to PS5?
So, originally, when they... And it's funny, because now they're all on the PS Plus tier thing. Or the, PlayStation, Xbox Live.
Their catalog of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But all of the... not all of the, but Assassin's Creed games, and specifically Syndicate, was you could there was some sort of weird bug where they were like, you can play it, but things might go wrong.
Okay.
But for the most part, I mean, I think that it's completely backwards compatible for the most part. I don't know. I haven't heard of any games that aren't. That's actually a good. I'm gonna look that up.
I'm just curious. The main curiosity from that is I since we talked about Kingdom Hearts and did the Let's Talk About, I actually ended up buying the Kingdom Hearts collection, like the Final Mix stuff, so I've been playing that for a while.
Oh shit, I gotta play that.
I've been having a lot of fun with Kingdom Hearts. It's a fun game.
Is this your first go through?
Yes.
Alright.
It's been a lot of fun. Oh, I also have to mention, because you mentioned Assassin's Creed, I have to touch on this, and it was just for you, but apparently Ubisoft threatened to sue Matt Ryan for mentioning the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Yeah, so
Oops.
People who don't know, Matt Ryan is the voice actor for Edward Kenway, who is the main character from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Unfortunately, he didn't even know that he was being recorded. It was just like somebody secretly recorded him mentioning it because someone brought up. So he's like, oh yeah, maybe you want to play it. But he didn't know that he was on camera or anything like that. So once that came out, Ubisoft was like, hey, shut your mouth. So he's like, well, I can't say anything anymore. But this is also the same Ubisoft who is like, we're revamping all the Assassin's Creed games and making things easier for you to play and be able to access them. Also, shut the fuck up.
I mean, I
get it.
I get it, but also it's like it's not. It's a remake.
The worst kept secret in the world.
Right. Also, in this like world that we live in now, is there any secrets anymore? Like, come on, man.
it's hard to keep secrets, especially in the video game world. Like, besides just people leaking stuff from developers and such, what about the game companies who put out games and they're like, find the secrets in the games, so then people take it and then just look at all the code underneath and be like, here's what's going on.
I mean,
Like, how do you hide that kind of secret stuff?
oh, I know. Like, especially in the advent of like PC gaming, where you can literally just delve right into the code. And I mean, that secrets in a game have not, like, going back to Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda. It was like a marketing trick by Nintendo, where they made they basically made a like a 1-900 number when those still existed. Where
Oh god, you're right. Damn, they went away with those.
no, what?
I forgot Nintendo had a hotline you could call for tips and tricks. Shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And like the best part is, again, I don't think at the time they had, like, again, like, that came out in a time when touchstone phones weren't even like ubiquitous in a household. Some people, we had a rotary phone for a long ass time. And like, I could imagine where it would be like, you would call up and you'd be like, welcome to Nintendo. The tip of the day will be for Donkey Kong Jr. And you're like, man, I don't want to know that shit.
Yeah. There was, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't just a recording either. There was like live people you could talk to because they will look up stuff, kind of like Movie Phone. I know we're dating ourselves with these references. Jesus Christ!
Back in the day, I had a Movie Phone bit that I used to do. Welcome to Movie Phone. For English, say Spanish. You have selected The Lion King. Rated R.
Nice.
I used to do that at parties, and people would be like, "Shut the fuck up."
I used to work at GameStop, so I would answer my own phone like I would be answering the GameStop phone, and I did that to my mom once, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number," and hung up, thinking that she actually did it wrong.
Oh no!
It's funny.
Oh boy.
Fuck. Where was I going to go next? Oh, we were talking about Octopath, and since we were, another piece of Square Enix news, which I found interesting, was that Nobuo Uematsu, who I believe he makes a lot of the music for Square Enix games, or at least Final Fantasy. He said that after Sakaguchi left Square when they were merging with Enix, that the company kind of fell apart. Apparently, he was like their North Star and kept things together. Reading the article, he was saying how there wasn't a typical like business structure to it. There wasn't necessarily a manager and a sub-manager and like the employees and people who manage people. It was more, they looked to him for guidance and support with things, and he more or less was just a font of information and telling people, here's a good way to do this, or try thinking of it this way. Kind of like, I would even say it's like Square's version of Miyamoto.
Right.
But I guess he decided to step down, or he resigned in 2001 and officially left in 2003, and Square Enix just hasn't been the same ever since. Which, looking from the outside in, you wouldn't know, because they're still pumping out some pretty decent games. They've had some stumbles here and there, but it's still like, you wouldn't think that the ship was going down. And that's kind of like the way you painted it a little bit.
I mean, I would argue that if going back to like right after Final Fantasy 15 released, there was some dicey moments. There were some dicey, like, I thought
15 was definitely would you say it was I almost said a bribe. That's not the word. What word am I trying to think of? You place your bets on it. You put all your eggs in one basket. I don't know. There was a lot riding on 15, I feel like.
I mean, especially with a series that is as storied as Final Fantasy, like any named entry, any numbered entry, I mean, same thing happened with 16. And I haven't played 16 yet, I kind of want to, and I'll be honest. I played a little bit of 15. It's not bad. I know a lot of people weren't
I
into it.
love 15.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I love the aspect of it's literally just like it's basically a road trip movie with monsters.
Mhm. Yeah, and that you're in control of. Here's where they went badly, and this is my own opinion for that. Final Fantasy XI. Dude, that game is horribly boring.
Really?
I know people live and died by it, but like I tried it for like a week or two, and I'm like, this is just, it fucking sucks. It was the online one.
That's what I was wondering. It was 11 and then it was 13. No, not 13. 14.
10-2, or 14. 14 is the online one. I'm sorry, I thought you
No,
were
no, there were
yes.
two. So there was, I believe 11 was one of them. And then
11 was one.
Yeah.
14 was the other, that they ended up destroying the world to redo the game so that way it was better.
By the way, like that has to be the first moment of we're going to release hot garbage and then turn it around. That's like No Man's Sky times a million. You know, like
Which one came out first? I absolutely agree, but I almost feel like No Man's Sky came out before
no,
that.
14 came. Final
No?
Fantasy 14. Let's look. Wikipedia. Okay. It released in 2013.
Okay.
So that was
And No Man's Sky was 2016.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. And like but when they broke it down and then they rebuilt it oh no, I'm sorry. I'm lying. That is a complete and utter lie. I'm looking at the wrong public. It says it released worldwide in August 2013. But it says the original version shut down in November 2012. How is that possible?
Was 2013 not the re-release of it when they fixed everything? Like went to I forget what the explanation was, but like in-game something destroyed the world, you go through a portal into a different dimension to fix things.
Right. Oh no, it definitely did release in 20. Okay, so A Realm Reborn was.
Either way, you're still right.
What?
Either way, you're still right.
Oh, I know. But like people love. I mean, I think same thing with 11. Like people love it, but I've never been into the MMO RPG space.
Yeah.
It's not bad, and I'm not slamming anybody who, if you love it, rock on. Anything you love to do, as long as it don't hurt nobody, do it. But just, there's something about, like, it's hard enough to get me on an hour-long podcast, much less doing a raid for 8 hours on a boss with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just, it makes my mind hurt.
There's just not enough time for that anymore.
Oh, no. Once you hit 30, it's like, okay, now I'm just going to sit down in front of the TV and watch it for 4 hours before I go to sleep. Oh, so weird tangent. Again, I like me the TikToks, and I was watching a TikTok, and somebody goes, Yoshi's full name is what? And I was like, wait, what is Yoshi? Yoshi has a full name?
Okay, you have two things for full names on here, and I swear I've heard them at some point in my life, and I just cannot remember them, so enlighten me and our audience, please.
Alright, so
we can all collectively go, what?
So, Yoshi's full name is T. Yoshitsura
right.
Munchakoopas.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, is that his, like, genus and species? Like, or is that his actual, like, God-given name? Was his parents, like, Ethel and Doug Munchakoopas?
Oh my god. I don't know. I want to say that's his like actual name.
God. But the Sonic one, absolutely. The Sonic Encyclopedia lists Sonic's complete name as Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog.
That's right.
But then in
And
Sonic the Hedgehog, the Archie comics, he's listed as Maurice Wentworth Hedgehog.
okay. Do with that what you will. You know what? Why? Hold on. We've only watched one of the Sonic movies. We got to watch the other ones to see if they ever bring up his actual name or not. Because that'd be really funny if they actually put it in there. Like, yeah, this is canon. We're going to use it.
I don't think they do. I've watched all three. They're not bad. They're not
The
bad.
first one was cool.
Yeah. I mean, they have Idris Elba playing Knuckles, which is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is very, very funny in it. And then, but in the, like dry sense of humor, like
he's going to believe the straight man, but it's funny.
Yeah, he's basically Drax the Destroyer, but in Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. I was pleasantly surprised also that for some inexplicable reason, Jim Carrey came out of retirement to just do these movies.
From what I heard, he didn't want to do it unless it like meant something to him or he found it interesting. So he must have saw something in him.
I think his kids asked him to do it, which he does. He does a decent job as Robotnik or Eggman or whatever they christen him in the movie.
Robotnik. What do they call him this time? Have you ever played any of the Ninja Gaiden games?
Yes, a long time ago.
Do you remember how ridiculously difficult they were?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was my favorite thing about the game. Back on the original Xbox, my friend and I, we beat the game, and then it had like the additional boss challenges and stuff, and we got through the tougher one for Lilith, I think her name was, like the demon lady who would fly around in the forest while you're fighting her. The final boss on the hardest challenge or whatever, we could get maybe one hit and it drops his health like maybe that much, and then he smacks you once and you're dead. I love that. Fuck doing that anymore these days because I don't have the kind of patience for it anymore. But I saw that a new Ninja Gaiden game is, well, two of them. A new one was announced that's being developed that's still going to be like hard as shit 3D, like how the original was. Then they also just recently, actually today, put out a side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden game called Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and it's doing pretty well, apparently. It's got an average of 87 with 90% recommended. I did not know anything about this game or the main character or anything like that, but apparently there are at least 18 main stages, 8 secret ops, some challenge levels, and you can beat it in 9 to 10 hours, which sounds great to me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a game, give me a tight 10 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it looks pretty, man.
Yes, it does.
It's actually...
The art look reminded me a lot of the new Shinobi game that's coming out.
I do like... I like that we're kind of going back to this side-scrolling... You know what I mean? Like... I don't... Because, again, I wouldn't call this retro art, but, again, a side-scrolling game... And I'm assuming it's probably not going to be like a Metroidvania. It's probably going to be just linear side-scrolling all the way through.
Yeah, that's what my imagination is. That's what the original Shinobi was. It was just side-scrolling through the level till you get to the boss.
Which I'm down for. I'm down for a... And again, it looks like it's releasing on the Switch, so...
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm all for a modernized version of what we used to play, as long as it feels good.
Yeah, like, you know what I want to get into, and I haven't. So, one of the things I'm hoping for is, I have not played any of the Metroid Prime series, and that really bums me out.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun getting into
I
those.
know. But I want to play the side-scrolling one that just came out.
Dread.
Yes. It looks
Yes.
so good.
I'm going to recommend you playing. Oh God, what was it called? I'm gonna have to look
Is
it
it
up because
Other
I don't
M?
remember, but it was no, not Other M. Although the first-person ones are great, this is a normal side-scrolling one. It was on the Game Boy Advance, believe it or not.
Fusion.
Yes, Fusion.
Yes.
I really like that
That
one.
was good.
Besides the one on the Super NES, Fusion was really
Yeah.
good.
I actually, I got, I when I, that was on the, that's on the Game Boy Advance Switch thing. And I started playing it, and then I got to a. This always ends up happening with all Metroidvania games, where I get to a point where like you get stuck, and if I was 19, I'd be like, let's do this. But now I'm like, okay. The same thing happened to me with Hollow Knight. Like I started playing Hollow Knight. I was playing it up here while I was like doing some other weird aspect of the job that I was working at the time, and I was like, oh, I'll just put this on in the background because we don't got a lot to do. And I played it for a bit, and then I got to a point where I was just like, okay, I need immediate gratification. Do you know what I mean? Like I need it
To keep going.
keep going, right? And
Yeah.
that's not a good place to be at as a gamer, but like, yeah. That being said, I still really would like to try Dread. It looks amazing.
Did you really like Hollow Knight?
I did. It's tight. Like the game control is tight,
It is.
and that
I liked it.
I
Too.
did, and the art style is phenomenal.
Are you excited for Silk Song?
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Did you hear any of the rumblings about it?
No,
The name is showing up and is being confirmed in some Xbox things. So Silk Song is real, and more and more it's looking like it might be released this year. But don't hold me to that.
I thought I had.
There was just an Xbox thing I saw earlier that was like, it was the name Silk Song was included in it, and people were like, oh, are they going to start talking about it again and showing things off?
Actually, it's funny. One of the thing I'm just looking. I just looked up Silk Song, and one of the things that people are saying is they're pissed because they expected it at the direct, and they didn't do it.
They expect it at every direct. Anytime someone does a showcase, the top comment is a joke saying, Silk Song's going to be shown, and it never is. But on the same Xbox front, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake surpassed 9 million players.
I
That's cool.
I remember playing Oblivion, and like the original Oblivion, not the remake. And
I didn't like it.
no, I mean
When I tried it, I did not like it.
it's not but the scope of it is insane.
I agree.
I will give that to Bethesda. The scopes of their games. I mean, Skyrim. You can't go wrong. Like, but playing that game for the first time, I remember watching the trailers for it and being like, "Wait, how do they fit all of this into into this little disc? How does that even happen?"
You think that's something? One of their older Elder Scrolls game was, the map was even bigger.
Yeah,
And you had to do a lot of the walking.
Yeah, I think it wasn't Morrowind.
Daggerfall?
Daggerfall. It was like the size of like England, like the actual England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
And it was procedurally generated, I believe.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Ooh, speaking of, and talking about Xbox, I see Q4 financials are out.
Yeah, they talked about some financials either today or a couple days ago. They put out some numbers. Some of the highlights that I tossed in here was that their gaming revenue is up 10%, their content and services revenue is up 13%, but their hardware revenue is down 22%. That one is not a surprise because no one's really buying Xboxes anymore. I think the PS5 had an uptick in some hardware sales in the same quarter, but of course Switch is like to the moon.
I literally just saw a thing today on TikTok. This is a guy, he's a retro gamer, but he also, like...
We need a count for how many times you mentioned TikTok on this episode.
Hey, TikTok be paying my bills. It does not. This retro gamer was talking, because he's an Xbox fan too, but he was talking about the lack of innovation, and he specifically went over the controllers. So he's like, I have a Switch 2. Look at this. My Switch 2 controller has, dynamic rumble. It can turn into a mouse. It has a really high-end joystick. It took the things that it did well in the original...
I disagree about the joystick.
For the Switch 2?
Yes.
I'll give you feedback when I get mine. I'm curious to see how it feels.
Okay.
Like, I'm pleasantly... I'm hoping that they at least upped some of the cues.
Cautiously optimistic?
Yeah, cautiously optimistic. And then he was like...
Okay.
Then this guy brings out the PS5 controller, and he's like, it has adaptive triggers, it has dynamic, dynamic feedback for the rumble.
The rumble,
It has a touch screen, that fun, happy shit.
Yeah, the little touchpad,
which no one uses, but it's there, and it's nice, And then he shows the Xbox,
Well, it's also got a built-in mic and things, too, but they use proprietary connections and, Bluetooth headsets and shit like
which,
that.
by the way, bums the shit out of me, because, one thing that I actually really liked about the Switch is I have my Bluetooth headset, my Google Pixel Pro buds, whatever.
Earbuds, yeah.
And I can have my Switch docked, and I can play it on my headset, and I can, don't have to do anything. But on the PlayStation, you need to buy, if you buy the 3D, whatever they're called, the Pulse 3D headset, which I have, it's you need to buy a dongle for it. The dongle comes with it. It needs to have its own separate Bluetooth adapter so that you can hear it, because it's in order to run the wireless controllers, it runs on the same wavelength as the Bluetooth for audio. Some bullshit. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Let it go.
You only just recently got Bluetooth audio anyway, without being... without interference, I should say. So, Sony's still figuring it out.
Right. But even then, it's still clearly, they've done a lot for trying to address issues with their previously nice controllers and make the controller better. And then they were like, he shows the Xbox controller, and he's like, it's basically the same controller. And it's like, he says, I get the idea, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But,
yes,
that doesn't mean you don't innovate. You keep the things that aren't broken, and then you add something to it.
Well, what is your definition of innovation, too? Because, where do you draw the line at actual innovation, and what do you draw the line at upgrading? Because I would argue that Xbox has done some innovation on their controllers. They're a lot lighter. They're a bit more responsive. There's not really any kind of drift when it comes to the joysticks. Those things maintain. The Bluetooth technology that's in the controllers are a lot better than what else has been on the market from Xbox, or in a lot of controllers as it is. I'd say that the Bluetooth connection is a hell of a lot stronger because of the hardware that they put into it. And you don't have to have special things for it. You can take that controller and plug it into any computer and it'll work. You can put any kind of headphones into it, it'll work. You can connect it to different... I can connect my fucking Xbox controller to my phone and play a game perfectly fine. I don't have to fight with it like for a PlayStation 5 controller or something.
True. But things that you would want to maybe add. Haptic feedback in your triggers. Maybe some more dynamic rumble.
They've enhanced the rumble. I wouldn't say that it's dynamic in to the scope of the PlayStation or Nintendo, but they did do some work for the rumble features. I feel like that's more of a staple for those games rather than Xbox focused games.
Right. But I guess my thing is, in terms of hardware sales, again, like I get Xbox controllers are the go-to. They're the goat when it comes to like PC gaming. Like I remember, I've never owned an Xbox. I bought an Xbox controller for my old computer because I was like, hey, I want to play games on it. This is the best way. Everyone was like, this is the best way. You just do it that way. Great.
Right.
But I mean, there is something to be said for trying to innovate, trying to iterate on something. And again,
Yes.
at the end of the day, you know, it kind of reflects in their sales. I think they're trying to transition over to being a more PC friendly, and like just having their, you know, their Xbox line just be not a, I don't want to say a curio, but just something that exists for people who don't want to invest in a high-end gaming PC.
Right. I'll give them both credit, Sony and Xbox, for innovation when it comes to modular controllers for people who have difficulty gaming and need like special things to help them. They both did really well with their modular controllers. I believe Xbox edged out PlayStation a bit, but they also had a leg up because they are a computer company.
Right. And I think that's kind of the...
Also,
yeah.
PlayStation's got a weird-ass name for their fight stick that they just put out.
What is it called?
I can't remember off the top of my head. Of course, I mention it and I forget, but they just revealed like the name. It used to have a code name, and now they're like, here's what the actual name of it is, and I'm just like, what?
Flex Strike Wireless Fight Stick?
That's right. Yep, that's the one.
It is pretty, though. Wow.
Yes. It looks cool. It's just a very weird name.
Like, it is... Nope, that is not what I wanted. I wanted...
You wanted to send me T. Yoshisaur Munchin
I'll
Koopas?
just do this. I'll just send you the whole damn link. It's... I mean, I will say this. The aesthetic of PlayStation is peak. It is peak. Like, I love...
Very modern.
The only thing I don't like about it is that I don't like white on any of my gaming stuff because it looks, after about like a day and a half, it looks like it just gets gross. Like, I think stick with gray, stick with black, you know, don't do a shocking white. My DualSense controller that I got with my launch PS5 looks like absolute shit.
In the same vein, don't do white thumbsticks for things. I have a custom Xbox controller that's like my shade of blue that I like, but then the buttons and like the face buttons on it, the start buttons on it, and the little jewel is white. And so I was like, my thumbsticks are getting worn down, time to change them out. So I bought some white ones. They're not white anymore, they're gray. Yeah. While I'm also on Xbox, since we're at an hour and 13, I feel like we're after 10. You might want to go to bed soon. So let's scroll through these really quick because I want to talk to you about the one thing I have at the bottom too, just for fun. This is more of a personal thing for me because I've been in the Xbox. What? I've been in the Halo series for years and years. I've been to many tournaments. I've held my own with things. I've had teams that I've been on. The HCS, which is the Halo Championship Series, is finally done this year.
Oh.
They're going to do the next 2 rounds, but then at the end of the finals, they said that they're going to they're retiring from Halo. They're retiring Halo Infinite from the HCS, but they're still going to be supporting the tournaments and things that they're going to be putting on for it, and are solely focused on like 2026, and then like obviously they're not going to talk about it, but the next Halo game in the series and things like that.
All right. So, and it
HCS has been going on for a while too, though.
yeah. That's kind of a bummer. What is people's take on Halo Infinite?
It's better. It's a lot better than what it started off being. Still not. It still hasn't risen to the levels of like I'm going to say Halo 2 and Halo 3 because those were the best received.
Right.
But it was a good step in the direction of those, especially compared to like maybe Halo 5 for people who wanted a more classic feeling Halo. But I'll be honest with you, I love the way Halo 5 felt. I don't know what it was about that game, but like the running, sliding, sprinting, all that fun stuff, which is not typical in Halo, felt good.
Mm.
And all the weapons and sounds felt good. Everything felt crunchy like it's supposed to. It was nice.
Yeah.
Infinite was like a nice step back to original Halo if you really liked it.
Right. I honestly, that's one of the bummers of like being stuck in one ecosystem is I've always wanted to. I've played Halo very infrequently, and it's a good feeling game, man. I mean, but it's like the gaming, like people in the Halo space, are they really eager for this next entry?
I'm going to say yes and no. Do people want a new Halo game? Yes, because it's just rich with story and things that are going on, and the characters are really well written and stuff. But the way that they've handled Halo as a series, like Xbox as a whole, how they gave it to 343 and then was like, all right, you guys have had your time in the sun, you haven't done anything with it, we're going to try this. And that didn't work, and then they had to reiterate and go back to the drawing board over and over, and then Infinite was delayed because they kept running into issues and having to fix things and make changes and stuff, and there was too many cooks in the kitchen and too many ideas floating around for this shit. Once Infinite came out, it was a wave of like positivity and saying, this game feels great, it's cool, the story's fine, but then like a week later, there was like, well, what's next? There's nothing here. There's not a lot of content after you beat the game, and the multiplayer, like the netcode for the multiplayer was not great either. There's a lot of hiccups, a lot of rubber banding, a lot of things that just, it didn't make the game feel good. But they ended up fixing that. Yeah. But at the same time, they did a lot of work on the Master Chief Collection, and everybody still plays all the multiplayer modes on that. That would be my go-to as well if I still was super hardcore into Halo.
Right.
So, yes, people want a new Halo. Problem with the new Halo is it's no longer the Slipspace engine like they were using. It's now Unreal 5. Right. So is it still going to feel like Halo? Is it still going to look like Halo? Is it still going to have that je ne sais quoi? I don't know.
A certain I don't know what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what that means.
That's an old kids. That's an old Austin Powers joke. All right.
Also, since we talked about it last week, I felt like it was pertinent to bring it up, but itch.io is looking for a new payment processor in the wake of delisting all their adult games. After all that stuff with Steam and the collective shout and stuff, they were like, yes, payment processors were going to come down. They didn't come down on them and like tell them, hey, you need to stop. They were like, we see this coming because of what happened with Steam, so we're just delisting everything. We're going to find out if we can do something else. There were some people online suggesting maybe they used a processor called Trustly. I didn't look enough into it, so I don't know what they do, but it's more or less, you just talk, the bank is the intermediary between the two people, and you're not really doing business with the bank, you're doing business with the person directly. The bank's just saying, yes, this is right, yes, that's just you, pass the money back and forth.
Right.
That's all I understand about Trustly. But yeah, they're looking to reclassify the way that the adult games are so that way payment processors don't get upset. And one of the steps that they are doing right now is kind of a verification thing where if you have one of those kind of games on there, you click a box saying, yes, this is that. But in doing so, you can't take donations for the games that you build or anything like that. Because if you do, then it pisses off the processors.
All right. Huh.
Yep. And obviously this has gotten big, so the IGDA, which, if you don't know what that stands for, is the International Game Developers Association, has issued a statement over all the stuff that's going on, too.
Yeah.
I will say it's not there's not a lot of teeth to it. I'm glad that they spoke up and said something, and said that things need to change, they need to do better, blah, blah, blah. But there wasn't enough bite to it to me.
Right.
This is something really serious, and if they're willing to say, hey, this needs some attention and we need to do something about it, it needs a little more bite and need to be a little more serious.
Right. I mean, and I'm just reading through it right now. I mean, you're right. It's kind of boilerplate. Like, we want our cake and eat it too. Like, the nuance and game content and adult themes. And it's like, yeah, like, no one is saying that we want games on the market that, fetishize, illicit, like truly illicit behavior.
Specifically rape and incest, because that's what a lot of the focus was for that kind of shit.
Right.
It's like the adult games, like, yeah, I understand boobies and stuff like that, like playing, let's match 3 gems and I'll show you a boob. I get that. What they keep pointing out, though, is like they're talking about sexually explicit stuff and rape and incest and stuff like that. And there's not a lot of games that have that. Or there are some guardrails on Steam, at least, that I know of, that they'll hit it and say, no, take the shit down.
Right.
So the collective shout has just been dumping everything into one big bucket and then calling foul on the people who are buying them.
Right. Right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it, like, I get it from IGDA's standpoint where they can't come out and be like, this is stupid. And I do think that they do put out there, go, you might need to do some grassroots stuff on your own, contact your credit card company of choice and be like, hey, what the hell are you doing? But at the end of the day, do you think that any credit card company is going to listen to Sean or Adam, or are they going to listen to, a huge, multinational conglomerate that says, hey, we don't want you to do this thing?
I think they're only going to listen to wherever the money comes from, unfortunately.
Right.
And I say that, too, because I think it was a day after we recorded the podcast, someone had posted an email they got from Visa because they reached out to them and was like, hey, I don't believe that this should be happening. This should take a little more scrutiny. I don't think that this is how you guys should be handling business. Don't pay attention to them or whatever. And Visa's response was very boilerplate too, like, yeah, we respect everyone's rights to use their money as they want. We do our business XYZ, whatever. It's just like, you're not saying anything.
Right. Right. Like, tell me.
That's how businesses work.
Yeah. You just bombard people with platitudes until they eventually shut up. Gotta love it, man.
That's what it feels like is happening right now.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
All right. Well, the only other thing was Battlefield 6 is going to release in October. It's going to be $70, and they're planning 2 open betas this month. Ooh. Yay.
Yay.
I hope that it's better than what the last couple Battlefields have been.
I mean,
I've not heard very good things.
I mean, has there been like a good FPS that has not been like an indie title within the past like 5 years? Like, look at your Call of Duty.
Yes.
Well, like, which one?
Well, it didn't release in the last 5 years, but Destiny has some of the best gunplay that I've ever had so far.
And actually, as I say that, we're not going to talk about Doom either.
You know what? Damn it, I was going to say Doom.
Damn it.
Doom is great. Apex Legends is great. The Finals is great.
Okay, so let me rephrase. The 2 big heavy hitters when I was coming up in, multiplayer online gaming were Call of Duty and Battlefield. And both of those have not had a quality... I wouldn't say quality. Like, I know that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3...
There was one that could have let me get my words right. There was one that could have stood toe-to-toe with them if they kept it up. And that would be Titanfall.
That one hurts.
I love Titanfall. That multiplayer... dude, I sucked at Titanfall multiplayer, but it was so much damn fun.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what Apex Legends is? Like, isn't that...
More or less, but that's it's a team of 3, but it's a battle royale too.
Right, but I mean, it's based on the same engine, and I think that's one of the biggest...
Yes, it still has the same feel and everything.
One of the biggest crimes is that, especially I remember playing the story mode for Titanfall 2, and it was just,
Oh, so great. Like, if any FPS had a great story, it's Titanfall 2. It actually really grabbed you.
Right. And, like, I think we're due. I think we're due for a Titanfall 3.
You, me, and so many other people have said that, asked for it, complained about it, and there have been rumors and things flying around about a Titanfall 3, or that it was in development and they stopped and stuff, but nothing has come of it. I don't remember which episode in the past, but I covered a shit ton of things that linked back to Titanfall and Apex Legends that made it seem like they were hinting at a Titanfall 3 or we're going to do some Titanfall-themed events, but nothing ever came of that.
It's a real bummer.
It was like this long Reddit post of someone explaining the information and how things tied together. I'm like, I can totally see that.
Right.
Then maybe they do it. Nothing. So.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's got to print money. Like, I mean, I know that it's even time.
Oh, it will.
Yeah, like, it is a first-person shooter where you get to be a mech. Like, come on. And when you're not in the mech, you're like a super soldier. Like, it's just, that should just be printing money. But what do I know, man? I'm just some guy.
we need a new age, current gen, utilizing all the power of the new systems. Zone of the Ender game.
Yeah. Oh.
Wouldn't that be cool?
What could remember back in the day? The only reason that anyone bought the original Zone of the Enders was because they included Sons of Liberty demo, and it's just the ship. And I remember playing the shit out of that. But then I played Zone of the Enders, and it was so good. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Have you played? Oh my god! Is it Armored Core?
Yes.
Is it good?
I've not played the new one, but I want to.
Oh, okay.
Armored Core itself is fun. So same thing with Mech Warrior back in the day. Mech Warrior was great.
It looks so good, and part of me, mech games, they're tough because, like, I don't know, like, I would love to hear somebody. I haven't heard a really good take on. I know it's from software, so it's got to be good. But I want to hear people's reactions to it, like somebody that I know who has played it, so that way I can gauge whether or not I'm like, do I want to buy that game? And I kind of do.
If it shows up on Game Pass or something, I will definitely give it a shot. It's on my radar.
Nice.
All right, let me hit you with this last one so we can hop off here. I forget where I read this, but it made me think for a while about games and like how they end, or like if they end up tacking on the ending later, or if they go and revise an ending since we can update games now. What game, in your opinion, or games, did the secret or the true ending well?
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time, which is Chrono Trigger, baby. Chrono Trigger. Just so many endings.
So I know what you're talking about. You got to explain. There's a cool hidden ending that you can do right at the beginning of the game.
Yep, and then you get to see the developers of the game and talk with them and shit. And they made, like, again, this game was made at a time where it's not like now where you want to put random sprites in. They made sprites of the developers for just this one secret ending, which I think when they did the re-release, they may have added another secret ending, which tied it into Radical Dreamers, which then kind of tied it into Chrono Cross. That was, but I remember, because again, I played through that game, like New Game Plus, like 7 or 8 times. And I remember you get so strong to a point where you can start doing like we're going to fight Lavos in the first, 5 minutes of playing. And then you get that and you're like, wait, what? Come on. The only other one that I think for secret ending or weird ending is, oh my god, is it Silent? No, it's definitely. Is it Silent Hill or is it Resident Evil, the one with the dog?
Silent Hill.
Silent
Hill number 2 specifically.
Yes.
And there's 2 silly endings. There's the dog one, and then there's aliens.
That was a good one.
Yeah, man.
What about you? What do you think?
One of my favorites, just because I played it a couple months ago, was Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I put on the list. What's funny is that if you just play through the game and beat it, you think getting through the castle is the end of it. It's not it's not until you actually get into your item screen and look at the descriptions of things and like start linking things together. You're like, oh, I wonder what this does. That you find out there's a whole other half a game that you missed because you didn't do it the right way.
Oh yeah, I mean, what is the other game? That, oh my god, my brain just crapped out. Near Automata.
Oh god, there's so many endings to that one.
Right, and it always comes up on lists of when you think the game is over and it's like just beginning. Like the original Nier, and then this one, like you have to beat the game, I believe, 3 times to get the actual ending, and that's like just one of the actual endings. Which, by the way, again, a game that I bought years ago and I still have not played. It's just sitting in my, like list of games that I need to play, and I really should.
I have not played it. I don't know if I ever will, but I kind of want to. The other ones that I have on this list, one is a secret, which I did not even realize until the other day, which is a cool secret, which I'm gonna spoil for everybody because I want to tell you too because I think you'll appreciate it. But Asura's Wrath, that game is ridiculous. Yes or no?
Yes.
Or yes or no? Good and bad. It's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous fun. But when you beat the game, the ending is just like, it's flat. There's nothing to it. It's just like, yeah, you got here, but nothing's changed. I'm the big bad now, without spoiling anything. You don't get the actual true ending of the game unless you buy the DLC.
Yep.
You have to buy the last 2 episodes to actually get the full ending of the game and beat like the last boss or whatever. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not the right way to do that.
Yeah, actually, that was one that always came up. I remember the thing about Asura's Wrath is I've never watched like a Let's Play on it. It just seems like a bunch of cutscenes, but all of them are awesome.
It feels like you're playing cutscenes too, because it's just button mashing and doing the same thing over and knowing the patterns. But then once you do it, it's just hit this button a bunch of times. Now move on to this one. Now turn your circle thing, and then just watch what happens.
I see you wrote Sifu in there too.
Yes. Do you know about Sifu?
Like
the game itself?
I played it for a little bit. It's such an interesting concept, but again, it's that barrier to entry. Eventually, after a certain age, you get to a point where you're like, do I have time to devote, again, this is coming from a guy who played 400 hours of Breath of the Wild. But, I got to a point where, I started playing it, and then I started getting my ass kicked, and I was like, all right, well, put it down. I'll come back to it. I never seen anything on the ending of the game.
So, there's, I guess you can say 3 endings. Like, let's just generalize and say there's 3 endings. There's getting your ass kicked and not getting to the end. You can say that's an ending because based on how the game plays, if you never get to the end, you end up dying anyway because you just get old. Or you beat the game, you get through all the bosses and you beat them all. Or you get the secret ending, where you play the game normally, but every time you get to the boss, you don't beat them. When they go down, you let them get back up and you just counter them. Every time they try to beat you, you just counter them. And eventually you're like, it's the idea is like you're teaching them a lesson instead of just defeating them. So you go through every boss doing that and you get the actual ending of the game. I'm like, I didn't know that existed. Like, nobody really did, because who would have thought to do that?
Right. And that's one of those things that, again, in this kind of era we live in where there really is no secrets anymore, those...
The information age.
Right. Could you imagine being the person that finds that out? Anytime I see anybody do a thing on... This is how you do this thing in Elden Ring. I'm like, somebody needed to figure that shit out. How do you do that? How is that even possible?
Yes.
Wild.
It's always fun when devs are like, hey, no one's found the secret, start going looking for it. And then people are like, here's how you do it.
It's good stuff.
I think that's cool too.
Yeah, man.
All right. You about ready to go get some sleep?
I'm going to go take a nap and wait for tomorrow when my Switch 2 hopefully arrives and I get to plug it in and set it all up.
Well, hopefully you can sleep without being too excited.
No, I am 42 Earth years old. I lost my excitement a long time ago. Now it's just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just being maudlin. All right, man.
All right, folks, if you want to hit us up on the socials, we are on... I always have to remember all these things. We're on Facebook and Threads and Instagram and Blue Sky. And if you want the podcast anywhere else other than Spotify, we are on Google and Apple and Amazon and other places that you can find the podcast. Oh, and send us an email at theramblepackpod@gmail.com. Give us some things to talk about. Some things maybe we don't even know about. That'd be cool.
Saying.
All right.
All right, man.
All right. Good night.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.